Yo, George here, experimenting with a new way to do these reviews in terms of visual style. It seemed to me that I should be a little close to the camera so you can see my pretty face. Really, it's just, I've been watching a bunch of like Nostalgia Chick, Nostalgia Critic, Brad Jones videos, Cinema Snob, and it seems like they're always a little closer to the camera than I tend to be. So, look at me, I'm close to the camera. But as far as background goes, it's Keanu, because that's what I watch. So I liked this movie, and it's a comedy, which means it's probably going to be a pretty short review. Other than like explaining jokes, there's not much for me to say other than go see it. I don't know anything to bitch about, and I don't want to give away too much of the story because the story is really not the point. So, Keanu. Key and Peele, hopefully you can tell who they are in the background. Key and Peele are the dudes from that show, Key and Peele. Keegan-Michael Key is the tall, bald guy. He's been on all kinds of stuff. How I Met Your Mother, Parks and Recreation. I think he was even on a couple episodes of the new Whose Line Is It Anyway? He's had a bunch of little like bit parts and guest starring roles and all kinds of things. And then Jordan Peele is the larger dude with the beard who's not bald, and he's more of the writer of the two, from what I understand. I've read from interviews with them saying that, like, he's more of the idea guy. He's more of the conceptualizer, if you will. He's the straight man usually in most of their sketches. Go Google any of the fucking Key and Peele sketches you can find. Their most famous probably being Luther, President Obama's anger management translator, in which Jordan Peele, the straight man, plays the president, Obama, and Key, the bald guy, plays Luther, his anger translator. So President Obama will say something like, "We need to work on our coming together as a people, and we all have to understand that we're as one despite our differences." And then Luther will come in and go, "Why you motherfuckers hate me because I'm black?" That kind of thing. That's their dynamic. Straight guy, broader comedy guy. So, in this case, the two of them are both in it. They're both producers. I'm assuming there's a lot of improvisation on the set, so they both kind of co-wrote it. However, if you look at the credits, it's Jordan's movie. Jordan, like I said, is the more writerly of the two. He's got a new movie coming out in February called Get Out, which is not a comedy. He's writing a straight-up horror movie, writing and directing. And I love the idea of an artist not being trapped into one thing. Haven't had a crossover genre artist like that since John Landis, maybe, back in the day with, Interview with the Vampire and the Blues Brothers. Anyway, I'm way off topic. What I'm getting at here is, it's the Key and Peele guys in a movie together, and I think there are some subtle references to the show. If you're Key and Peele show fans, there are a couple references. They go to see a Liam Neeson's movie, which is a reference to the show. Other little things, like I think the fact that Jordan's character in the movie, his name is Rel, the character, he can't drive in the movie. I think that's true in real life, that Jordan actually can't drive. So it's got a lot of little Easter eggs, and if you like those two, you like their chemistry, you're going to enjoy the movie. I didn't go see it, and I don't think it was like a bomb, but it wasn't a huge hit, which is a shame, because it's really well directed, it's really funny, great cast, and it's a lot of fun. I think people didn't go see it because, like me, they were under the misconception that the plot was the premise. And if you'll allow me to get all comedy 101 on people for a moment here. In comedy, there is generally the premise. That's where the jokes are going to come from. It's something that needs to be set up exceptionally early on, and then jokes can happen. So I assume the premise of Keanu was, they get a little kitty named Keanu, and the kitty gets kidnapped by some gangbangers, and they're going to go track him down. I thought that was the premise. Not the premise. The premise is not that at all. The plot of Keanu is that Jordan's character has been broken up with by his girlfriend. He's in a fucking depressive funk. He finds this cat on his doorstep one day, falls in love with it, and kind of slowly gets pulled out of depression because of this cat who he names Keanu. That cat has some ties to fucking gangbangers and drug dealers, so it does get kidnapped, and the plot is that he'll get him back. The premise is the two whitest, suburban, timid, geeky black guys ever have to fucking go incognito as hardcore gangsta killers in order to, like, fake their way into a gang in order to track down the cat. That's the premise, and that's way funnier. Another reason why this is going to be a short review is that I can't really quote any of the dialogue, because I have the wrong skin tone. There's a lot of N-word in this movie, and it's exceptionally well used. In the same way, if you've seen the show, Key and Peele, they use foul language brilliantly. So, for example, not gonna use the N-word, don't freak out. I hate saying the N-word, but there it is. For example, on Key and Peele, I would never refer to a woman as a bitch. I think that's pretty mean. And the very first sketch of Key and Peele is two married dudes having a conversation, and like the women go off to like, we'll be ready in a second, and they go off to like primp and preen some more, and the guy's just like, man, you believe it? Women, right? Always, they say they're gonna be ready at 5 o'clock, you're not gonna leave till 6, what is it? And then they get really quiet and they're like, I said, bitch. So they say the word bitch over and over again, but the sketch is more about how they're so fucking timid and lame. Same kind of thing here. They use the N-word a lot. But it's in order to kind of do a faux masculinity, faux gangsterish attitude. And it is fucking hilarious. The action is very solid throughout. I mean, it's not like a big budget action movie. So if you think of something like Pineapple Express, it's not even that big of an action kind of movie. But there are a couple different action beats throughout the movie, and they're both excellent. If you do like kind of like 90s, New Jack City type movies, it is kind of that vibe. There are, of course, references to The Matrix throughout, including doing backflips off of walls and slow motion gunfights and stuff like that. But it's primarily more of like a gangsta type movie. So there's not a lot of rapid cutting. There's not a lot of like elongated fist fights. It's much more just like shootouts in slow motion at big ass mansions, Scarface type shit. So the cast, besides Jordan and Keegan, aside from those two, a lot of cameos here, including the one you probably imagined. The movie's called Keanu, so yeah. If you ever want to see Anna Faris as a coked out, samurai sword wielding, drug-addled fucking freak, this is the movie. I love Anna Faris, haven't seen her in a while, she's fucking hilarious. And one of the jokes I will spoil is they go to do a drug deal, Key and Peele, or the characters in the movie, who, by the way, their names are like Clarence and Rel. Those are their real names. Their gangsta names are Shark Tank and Tectonic. So Tectonic goes into the house to do a drug deal with High C is the name of like the chick gangster who's in the gang. They're gonna go to a drug deal in the Hollywood Hills, and Anna Faris shows up. And you're like, holy shit, Anna Faris is hilarious, and she's being fucking over the top and violent and vulgar and amazing. And then as they're kind of doing the drug exchange, there's a quiet moment, and fucking Jordan goes, "By the way, I loved you in the house, bunny." And you're like, oh my god, she's playing herself. It's fucking awesome. That dude shows up. Luis Guzman from Magnolia fame, Boogie Nights fame, bunch of other stuff. He's in it. Will Arnett? No, Will Arnett's the guy from Arrested Development. The other fucking dude. The dude who handcuffed himself to Leslie's office because he wanted Twilight in the fucking time capsule in Parks and Recreation. That guy, I don't remember his name. He was on SNL for a while. He plays their weed drug dealer. So a lot of fun cameos throughout. It is a very simple, in the same way, it's kind of Harold and Kumar. If I could describe it closest to something, it's that kind of story. Two friends who go through a fucking crazy ass adventure to achieve very simple goals and very different goals. But weirdly enough, the goals that they have in Harold and Kumar are sort of similar to the goals that the characters in this movie have. So Jordan obviously wants to get his cat back, his little kitten Keanu, who's a fucking adorable cat. Obviously he wants to get the cat back, but it's less about getting the cat back and more about getting over his girlfriend. It's more about getting his life back in order. Keegan's role is he's married, happily married, he's got a kid, and he's just timid and scared, and he works in the corporate world. Not scared, but just always trying to please people. Too busy telling other people what he thinks they want to hear. Too busy not providing for his family and being a strong upfront man. So, yeah. Both of those things come to wonderful conclusions at the end. There's some great fucking moments. If you like George Michael, that's another thing I'll spoil. If you ever wanted to see a bunch of fucking gangsters in a minivan at a drug deal, jam out to George Michael. This is your movie. A lot of fun. I'll have to take a look at my list. Obviously, I'm going to do, around about my birthday, sometime in early February, I'm going to do my top 10 movies of 2016. There's still a shitload of stuff I need to see, but I haven't done it yet. But I did kind of do from what I've seen so far, I've done my list, and it's 21 movies so far that I've got ranked in actual order. I'm not sure where Keanu's going to end up. I know I enjoyed it. Probably not going to be in my top 10, but don't be surprised if I mention this in a couple of weeks as like a honorable mention, or you should very much go see it. I love Key and Peele. This is a really fun, easy to watch movie. I love those fucking characters. And by those, I mean those guys. I love watching those two interact. They've got their chemistry is magic. Even when they're having a conversation with no jokes in it, just the way they interact is fucking lovely. So, like I said, short review. Can't really think of anything else to say. It's fun. If you like 21 Jump Street, it's kind of got that vibe to it a little bit. If you liked Harold and Kumar, it's got that vibe to it a little bit. Pineapple Express, that kind of thing. It's a buddy movie, and it's fucking fun. The last thing I'll say is that Jordan and Keegan, they do have dual roles in the movie. As the characters you see in the poster, the lame suburbanite, whitest black guys you could ever imagine. And they also play the Allentown brothers, who are like, they don't have dialogue, they're fucking fierce, they cut fingers off, they're the most hardcore murderous motherfuckers you could ever imagine. And Key and Peele play both sets of people. So it's really fun. And plus, of course, they're also playing like the gangsta versions of themselves, Tectonic, and Shark Tank. Very fucking fun movie. If you like the Boondocks and like all that fucking Ed the Third shit and Riley as a character, if you enjoy that kind of like making fun of gangsta culture, you'll really fucking love Keanu. Totally worth a watch. Hour and 40 minutes. Very fast. It's on HBO Go, for those of you who have HBO Go. If not, go get it from Redbox. Stream it if you have to, I guess, but spend money on it, man. Those guys deserve it. I can't imagine it's expensive in stores, because again, it wasn't like a huge hit. And it's not something like Avatar. It's like a four-disc box set thing. It's just a fun fucking movie, so go out and see it. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back next time talking about something fucking else I watched. See ya. Meridian Hive Meadery. Support your local hive, people. Oh, wait, shit. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. George Efta is my name. And check out the blog, all that stuff. Anyway, social media. See you next time. For real this time. Bye.